city yet, but I know where you're going with that, Mr. Walling, and that's why I love representation.
All right, well,
let me just let the people know online that are in court this morning, you have a very good benefit of having a supremely talented and just unafraid attorney on the line. And he's going to do the best he can. If it were me, I would hire him myself.
now that's high praise, Your Honor.
Let's go. Mr. William Owens, good morning to you.
Good morning.
We got one matter too.
Yeah.
This is the unregistered, untitled. Well, let me go in the system and see if I can dig up some more stuff on Mr. Owens.
Okay.
What I like to do is I like to make this a one-stop shop for everyone. Madam Court Reporter.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Madam Sign Interpreter.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Are you letting Mr. Goodman know everything I'm saying?
Yes, sir, I'm trying.
Very well.
The screen keeps moving. When the more people get added, I lose where he's at, so I have to try to find him again. So,
Your Honor, now that we're talking to the interpreter, could you put her and me in a breakout room at this time? He may take.
thank you. That would be great.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna let everybody know that the way this is gonna work is that, first of all, everybody has a right to go to trial on their matters. There should be an offer in the file. If there's not an offer in the file, we'll do the best we can to speak with, get the city attorney when he shows up to make sure that there's an offer in the file. And then I'm gonna let everybody have the opportunity to speak to at length, as much time as they need to speak to Mr. Walling, who, like I say, I'm very happy to have in our courtroom, and I think you guys are lucky to have him, to let you know what, if the bit of information I give, if you need some more detailed information, Mr. Walling is there, and I'll put you in a breakout room if necessary. But I can't stress any more that you have a right to trial. You'll get a trial date if that offer is not amenable to you, and you'll definitely have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Walling about that. And Mr. Walling knows that he'll have ample opportunity to speak with the court reporter. Speak with the speak with the city attorney here if necessary. So I'm going to put Ms. What is that? Hines?
Henzie?
Henzie, and Mr. Goodman and Mr. Walling in a breakout room.
Thank you, sir.
And your breakout room is always going to be 2, Mr. Walling.
Thank you.
Oh.
Good morning. And he can join that room. Your breakout room is always going to be 1, Mr. Goss. You sign on it.
How did you spell the interpreter's last name?
H-N-Z.
E-N.
The Alcatel 3V. Who is that? Who might that be? Person that just came on. I've talked to everybody else. I think it's the gentleman sitting in the driver's seat there.
And I'm William Owens.
What's the name, sir?
William Owens.
No, not you.
Rollo Lapley. Rollo Lapley.
Okay. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Ronald. Ronald.
Is it Lampley?
Where is that?
It's in the middle of the 835.
Okay. And then we had a young lady just sign on. Is that somebody new? Okay.
Yes,
Let's
that's me.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Hello?
Yeah, who was that? Courtney's iPhone?
Yes, Courtney Lightner. I'm trying to turn the video on, but I don't know. Keep going on.
All right. Mr. Officer Keeps.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Sean B. Perkins. While court is in session, please keep your backgrounds quiet and clear. Sit there with your name called. Also be properly dressed at all times. And if you're in a vehicle, there is no driving while court is in session. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Officer Keeps. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guess we can get the most. Well, Mrs. Garner, I'm gonna. You were one of the first ones in, but Mr. Walling wants to speak with you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put yours aside, and then we're gonna go to, and then Mr. Lockridge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is, I'm sure. Now, what was our discussion last time, Mr. Lockridge? Let's rehash that. Refresh my memory.
Okay, I came to court. You lifted all my warrants on my tickets. I believe I had 28 or 29 warrants. You lifted them and told me to come to court with some money so we could take care of it.
All right. No. Mr. Ross?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you take another look at this here, please? Mr.
Yeah, the war issues.
Lockridge? Scott,
I thought I wrote it in one already.
you did, you write everything?
I believe so. That's. Yeah, why did you have to come back?
We just looked at his warrants last time, and he said he's got a pocket full of money that he's ready to handle, put all this stuff behind. Good morning, Ms. Green. Okay, Mr. Ligon, break that ticket out and give us the information on that ticket. We're looking for the ticket number, which should be at the top, and the date that you got the ticket.
P is in Paul, 120-4343-525-2021.
This is the city of Detroit versus Gilbert De Jesus Lopez Perez, case number SP 111-63661. Mr. Lopez Perez, please state your name for the record.
Your Honor.
Please state your name for the record.
Gilbert Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, what's your story?
The story is that, how do you call it? That day when I had the accident, how do you call it? I was driving to my job to go pick up a check.
Let me stop. Let me stop you, Mr. Lopez. Let me make this a little more simple. Do you have a driver's license?
No, Your Honor.
The offer here today is a failure to display, amended to a failure to display. If you want to accept that offer, it's a $240 fine. It's a 0-point offense. It is a misdemeanor, and it does abstract to the Secretary of State. So you can expect to have an additional 30-day suspension on top of what you already have. You've got a right to a trial, Mr. Lopez. You also have a right to speak to counsel regarding the offer, and you also have a right to take it if you want. I'll give you time to pay. You let me know what you want to do, sir.
Okay, quick question, Your Honor. When you mean 30-day suspension, you exactly what does that mean?
That means whatever is, so say for example, if you have nothing else on your driver's license that is stopping you from getting a license, this is gonna hold you up another 30 days.
Okay. And if I do want to pay the $250 fine, where would I pay?
It's $240. You had paid either online, you had paid at any DivDab kiosk in the city of Detroit, or you can come down and see us at the 36th District Court, and they'll take your money at the cashier's counter.
Okay.
He has a driving license not valid. He only has one matter. I don't know what his driving record looks like.
You pull it, and if it's decent, we do allow it.
Okay. The city attorney is in a good mood today. Pull his driving record. What's your driving record gonna look like, Mr. Lopez Perez?
Clean, because that is the first time I ever had an encounter with police officers.
All right. The proof is gonna be in the pudding. You know that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Your Honor.
Attorney Moore, just check.
Yes, Mr. Waller.
Your Honor, Mr. Goodman, there's only one ticket on the docket, so I really don't know about counts 1 and 2. I know they exist, but I don't know.
I'm gonna cut you short, Mr. Walling. I think we got already an answer for you that you're gonna be okay with. Let me get through with Mr. Lopez Perez, and you can be here to hear this.
Okay.
Mr. Lopez Perez, the offer just got a little bit better for you. What I can do for you today is, based on your driving record, I can offer you allowing an unlicensed person to drive. That's the best offer really that's in this court. It is a misdemeanor, but I will take this misdemeanor under 3-month delayed sentence. After you pay the $240, I will dismiss the matter immediately. So you will not have any misdemeanor on your record, and you will not have to worry about any abstraction to the Secretary of State. And you should be able to go get, but says your license is valid.
If I may, Your Honor, what is Mr. Lopez Perez's
License, profile license, not valid or improper license. But it says here his license is valid.
The suspension probably lifted already.
Okay.
Because if I'm not mistaken, take equipment. Mr. Lopez is just a pretrial, so he didn't miss any court date, so we didn't suspend it. So whoever suspended it, probably was like a 30-day suspension.
I don't think it ever was suspended. So
you know what, Your Honor? Here, let me take it.
your patience just might be getting better and better and better for you, sir.
What's the date of the infraction?
Date of the infraction was 11/19.
He was in a traffic crash, that's why.
But I wasn't suspended.
Right.
All right, matter's gonna be dismissed, Mr. Lopez Perez. That's your Christmas gift in July. The matter's gonna be dismissed. Be careful, be a little more careful out there, right?
Okay.
And keep your license on you when you're driving. You're not gonna be able to come in here and get that gift anymore, but based on your good driving record, hopefully you can keep it that way. Have a good day, sir. If you don't have any more questions.
No wonder you think I'm such a good attorney, Your Honor.
See, I tell you. All right. Any other questions, Mr. Lopez? I hope not.
No, yeah.
All right. Have a good day, Mr. Lopez.
Okay, take care of you too.
All right, Mr. Moore, good morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, we got another very good lawyer, but he got some retained work now. Let me call Mr. Goodman. This is the city of Detroit versus Jonte as the court interpreter on the line.
We're not quite ready on him yet, Judge. He tells me there's other tickets than what is on the docket.
Let's look it up.
Over and above counts 2 and 3.
Let's look it up.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Phil. Good seeing you.
Good to see you.
You're looking young.
Boy, Greg, you know how to do this Zoom stuff, don't you?
You're not aging.
Jonte Wayne Goodman by his driver's license and see. I only see the no insurance, ticket on here. I do see that he has the 2 civil infractions that are in default. Right. I will allow him to set aside those 2 matters based on they haven't had in the pandemic, so he can be heard on those matters on your motion, Counselor. But
he tells me there's 5 out there.
Well, my clerk is going to look that up, and we're going to see for sure.
And that's we're kind of in a holding pattern until we get to that.
And I don't know if we're in a holding pattern because maybe the other 2 matters haven't hit the system yet, and we're sort of in a situation, and that's the case. It's only the 3, right?
Yeah, so I checked his name and his driver's license.
So all we have are the 3 matters.
Okay. Let me go in and talk to
you make your motion.
Let me go in and talk to him and the interpreter again, and then I'll be right back, Judge.
Very well. Mr. Moore, what do you have, sir? Good morning to you.
Yvette Lamb, I appeared at 1:30 Friday to make a motion to withdraw. And your clerk told me to call back today because there was no court reporter and you might not have been available. So
You don't have to tell the world that, Counselor.
well, there's no court reporter available.
What'd you say?
He's doing on you.
I know.
You put in the system.
You don't be doing that.
Mr. Moore.
Don't be doing that, Mr. Moore.
Well, I apologize. That's what she told me.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right, let's go on. I'll wait till I get that file. Let's move on to, who we have next on here. Mr. William Owens.
How you doing? Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Owens. I appreciate your patience, sir.
Oh yeah, no problem.
If I just do one check. Did you speak on Mr. Owens as well? Mr. Goss, he has just one untitled.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, Leroy?
No, William Devon Owens. This is the city of Detroit versus William Devon Owens, case number 214-159041. Mr. Owens, you get a gift a Christmas gift in July as well. Based on this and based on your driving record, you only have the one matter. The city is willing to dismiss the matter.
Okay, I appreciate you.
All right, Mr. Owens, I don't know what happened out there on that date, but if the allegations are correct, you need to make sure you get your stuff registered and have that proper documentation at all times when you're driving, sir.
Oh yeah, I have it with me now. It was just it was just crazy. I had just got the car, it was released the day before. So it was like some stuff with the paperwork. So it was like, I just had it for less than 24 hours and got pulled over. So I had the temporary paperwork with me.
Oh, so you got driving a brand new car, huh?
Yeah, it was a brand new. Yeah, I was trying to tell them everything. They weren't trying to hear it. So,
I need
I got everything with me.
What's business then? You know what I'm saying? I traded my old time. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mr. Owens.
All right.
Thank you a lot.
I
I appreciate you. Thanks for coming and have a great day, sir.
All right, thank you too. You have a blessed day.
All right.
All right.
Ms. Lockridge.
And it's once they have up to 14. We got
I see. Okay, Mr. What about Mrs. Garner? Take a moment. Mr. Lockridge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, everybody else should have checked in before Mr. Lockridge and Ms. Garner, because my courtroom prosecutor was in a good mood, but you didn't light me up after giving all this up, you know what I mean? Woo. All right, so this is the city of Detroit versus Tory Ford Lockridge, case number SP 1055772, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 11363, strike that. SP 1136316, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 449889, counts 1, 2, and 3. U 40250017. 14456174, counts 1 and counts 2. 15473679 17352030, counts 1, 2, and 3. 18383136 19486774 20715053, counts 1 and counts 2. All right. Mr. Lockridge, please state your name.
Tory Lockridge.
Mr. Lockridge, there's an offer here in the file.
Okay.
Plead to the U ticket under a 3-month delay. I will dismiss that ticket immediately upon payment. Plead to
We are,
Mr. Wallen, we're on the record.
okay.
We're on the record, Mr. Tory Lockridge. I just called all of his matters, and right now I'm reading the offer that's in the file. That's plea to the U ticket under a 3-month delay, $240 fine. It's going to be a $240 fine on every misdemeanor.
What's the U ticket for, Judge?
The U ticket is for being in the park after dark.
Okay.
I think that's what that is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a 3-month delay. I told Mr. Lockridge I'll do one better than that. I'll dismiss that ticket immediately upon payment.
Okay.
Plead to 2 counts of failure to display. That's $240 a piece. Plead to an improper plate. That's $240. And plead to an open intox passenger. That's $240. I'll waive the warrant fees. And Mr. Lockridge, I will do for you, since you zoom back in and you say you want to come correct, I'll meet you a little bit on the civil infractions that are long outdated. I will waive the penalties and fees, the discretionary fees that I can waive, and I'll try to get you back to the original tickets on those.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misdemeanors. That is 5 times 240. I think that's $1,200 right there. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 civil infractions. Wait a minute. 11, 12 civil infractions that are all long ago that you didn't take care of. And what I can do, the best I can do for you is to waive the penalties and fees on those civil infractions, the late fees.
Okay, so you're not inclined to set aside the default on those.
No, I'm not, and the reason why, Mr. Lockridge, is that it's other people that, I try to operate on just a matter of fundamental fairness to everybody. And I'm not gonna give you the benefit of not having had matters out, having had matters out there for 7 years, 6, 7 years that you never took care of. And somebody else that just got it last year during the pandemic or just the year before that, you know what I mean? So I feel that there is some sort of price you gotta pay. And we talked about that last time you were here. So that's the reason. Not that I have to give a reason, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
My only concern, Mr. Lockridge, and my name's Philip Walling, I'm your lawyer today. My only concern, and it's not about the money, that's between you, the judge, and your wallet, but the open alcohol in a motor vehicle, that carries points. Nothing else that I've heard of carries any points, but that one does.
Let me stop you though. That carried points to, that was 4 years ago. So whatever points were already incurred back when the ticket was defaulted on. So you're getting.
The open alcohol is a misdemeanor. It wasn't defaulted on. I don't believe.
Yeah, it was 2017.
Well, you don't default, but there would be a bench warrant, and you're right. The points would be
Right.
assessed. But that's
okay. When you're speaking technically like that, yeah, you're correct, Mr. Walling. But what I'm saying is that was when that bench warrant was issued, those points had already been incurred on your license. You see, so most of what you have here, you're getting away with no points.
I think under those circumstances, this plea is way appropriate, more appropriate than, well, we'll just say I'm pleased with it. My only concern is that the points not be assessed a second time. And I don't know how my concerns get addressed, and if they can be addressed, other than you keeping an eye on this, Mr. Lockridge.
And if, at the end of the day, Mr. Lockridge, whether the points get assessed or not, you know, and let's be real. You ain't been worried about no points for years. What you're doing here is you're stepping up to the plate, you're taking care of this, and it's gonna be some consequences that you have to pay, you know, and you're stepping up to pay them consequences. Am I right, Mr. Ligon?
Yes, sir.
All right. So it's up to you. This is yours, sir. Now, what I can do is I can set all these matters for a trial date. We'll bring all the officers in if they're still around, if they still remember, if they still do this. Mr. Lockridge, right? I know, but I was referencing Mr. Ligon for a particular reason, and he knows why. So, and then you can take your chances there. You might do better, you might do worse, you might do the same.
And you might not have the court even bothering with the civil infractions. So I don't disagree with your premise at all, sir. Please continue.
Okay.
Okay. So, and what is my total that I owe you guys?
Oh man, it'll take us days to calculate that.
Sir, do you have
I think with the misdemeanors, I think I added your total up in my head to be $1,200. Then we haven't deducted some of the discretionary fees off of the other things, and that's going to take my clerk a while to get that entered into the computer. So the best bet is for you to go online in about an hour or two after you leave court, and then you'll see what you can pay. You'll have the ability to pay. You'll have the ability to pay everything now. If you take this deal and get it done today, you'll have the ability to pay everything.
Did you post a bond, Mr. Lockridge?
No, I did not.
No, I gave him a $0 bond.
Oh my God, Your Honor. Everybody must have been in a good mood for this one.
Well, what I want to do, and I'm glad Mr. Lockridge is, like I say, I applaud you for being here. I know nobody wants to be in court today. Nobody ever wants to be in court, but it's a time where, yeah, you mature, you want to get things passed, you want to start operating on a different level, and I believe Mr. Lockridge is there now.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, I have one question. Do I have to make this payment in full?
No, I'm gonna give you time to pay.
Okay.
You work with me, I'm working with you, right? I told you that.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're gonna keep it real, right?
Correct.
All right. What you wanna do, Mr. Lockridge? The ball is in your court.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the offer so I can get this over with.
Let's do that. Mr. Lockridge, can you please raise that?
The interpreter has other matters that she has to do. Can we deal with Mr. Goodman and then come back to Mr. Lockridge?
Let's do this right now. She can wait a minute. It's only gonna take us a minute. Raise your right hand, Mr. Lockridge. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. Mr. Lockridge, you understand you have a right to a trial in these matters? You understand you have a right to a trial, Mr. Lockridge?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand by taking this offer, you're gonna give up that right to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what I just stated in the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lockridge, let me draw your attention back to July 3rd, 2017 at around 9:50 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of Collingwood and Dexter. Mr. Lockridge, on that day, did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer? This is the open alcohol and a motor vehicle charge.
Yes, I believe I remember that on Collingwood. Yes, I do.
Okay, and we gotta be sure, everybody, if you wanna take these deals, you gotta be sure about what's going on. And back, so we can help you out in a little regard as far as memory is concerned, but that's gonna be, Mr. Lockridge, on that day in time, were you driving were you in a motor vehicle with alcohol in the motor vehicle, Mr. Lockridge?
Yes.
Was that alcohol open, Mr. Lockridge?
Yes, it was.
And what kind of alcohol was that, if you remember?
It was Hennessy.
All right. Hen. Do we establish a factual basis, Counselor?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Lockridge, I'm going to fine you $240 for that matter. You can get your pen out, sir, and you can write this stuff down if you want, but I'm going to fine you $240 on that matter. I told you I'd take that matter under a 3-month delayed sentence. I'll do one better than that, Mr. Lockridge. I'll dismiss that matter immediately upon payment, okay? So you won't even have a misdemeanor on your record.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Lockridge, I'm going to draw your attention to November 17th, 2020 at around 9:32 a.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of LaSalle Boulevard and Clement Street. On that day, Mr. Lockridge, did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on that date, were you asked to produce a valid driver's license, sir?
Yes, I was.
And you couldn't do so, could you, sir?
No, I couldn't, Your Honor.
And why is that, Mr. Lockridge?
Because I do not have a license.
Because your license was suspended, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to accept your plea to the amended count of failure to display, Mr. Lockridge. I'm going to fine you $240 in that matter.
Okay.
Mr. Lockridge, I'm going to draw your attention to January 17th, 2020 at around 4:08 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of I-94 Service Drive westbound. Mr. Lockridge, on that date and that time, were you pulled over by a Detroit police officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on that date, were you asked to provide a valid driver's license?
Yes, I was.
And you couldn't do so, could you, Mr. Lockridge?
No, I could not.
And why is that?
Because my license was,
Your license was suspended, sir?
yes, it was suspended.
Very well. I'm going to accept your plea to the amended count of failure to display on that matter. Those are 0-point offenses. Those offenses do abstract, however, to the Secretary of State, and they are misdemeanors, Mr. Lockridge. Mr. Lockridge, let me draw your attention. Oh, I'm sorry. Strike that earlier statement regarding the open alcohol in a motor vehicle. I will not accept that plea under a 3-month delay. That plea will be pleading to the amended count of operating open alcohol in a motor vehicle passenger. I want to make that clear. I will not accept that plea under a 3-month delay. That plea will be accepted under the amended count of open intox passenger. Mr. Lockridge, let me draw your attention to.
Excuse me, Judge, you did not give him fines and costs on the last FTD.
Okay, on that last FTD, I'll fine you $240 on that matter, sir. Let me thank you, Counselor. Let me draw your attention to July 15th, 2017 at around 10:20 p.m. That's very close. Closing time was only 20 minutes before then, but based on this time and date, it was closed. Mr. Lockridge, in the area of St. Alban and Atwater. Did you have an occasion on that day? This is the on private property when closed, basically the active park in the park after dark. Mr. Lockridge, did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
Yes, I was. I was parked downtown at a local spot where people park at.
And in the park, sir?
Yes.
And then it was after 10 o'clock. Is that correct, sir?
Right. They was doing, I guess, it wasn't known to me during that time, but I guess they was trying to calm that area down, and that's what they started to do. But as far as me knowing that I couldn't park there after 10, I didn't know that because it was.
Yeah, I don't think the statute regards you knowing. Ignorance of the law is no defense. It's just a matter of whether you were there after the park was closed. That's the only question that the statute is in question. Am I right, Counselor?
His knowledge is yes, that's correct. Not needed.
Not needed. That's what you call a specific intent crime. When the specific intent is your intent does not matter. The only thing that matters is that you were there at that time after the closing time. So this matter, Mr. Lockridge, I'll accept your plea to the count of entering or remaining on private property. But this count I will accept under a 3-month delay. And I said I'll go one step further. I'll dismiss this matter immediately upon payment. So I'll fine you $240 in that matter. With regards to the other matters, Mr. Lockridge, I'll dismiss all the other matters. I will waive all warrant fees, and you're going to be responsible for the reinstatement fees in these matters as well. Mr. Lockridge, how much time do you need to pay? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's start off with 3 months.
Okay, that sounds good.
Let's start off with 3 months, and I make it easy on everybody and less time consuming, because that's the time that 3-month delay is going to run out when you have to pay. So I would suggest you pay that ticket first, and that will close that matter out completely. But apparently you got a pocket full of cash at least now, so you can probably knock some or all of these matters out. And we'll deal with that. So pay by October the 18th. Mr. Lockridge, I will tell you that you are open to, if you find yourself in the position where you can't pay this by October 18th, you're open to come back into the court, Zoom on in, and I would suggest that you do so in order to ask the court for more time to see if we can find some more time in these matters, because I don't want to see the late penalties and fees. And I'm going to do as I said. I will waive the warrant, waive the fees that I can off of the other civil infractions that have been in default, and I'll try and get you as close to the original cost of the ticket as I possibly can, Mr. Lockwood.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do
Mr.
have a
Lockwood,
question. I do have a question, please, Your Honor. That $240 that is your fine imposed on these, does that include, where applicable, the reinstatement fee?
No.
Okay.
That does not include the reinstatement fees. All right.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Lockridge, I appreciate you stepping up to the plate, Mr. Lockridge. It's something that, I'm glad you're there in your life, that it's time to put some of these matters behind you and moving on. And I told you I will work with you as best I can to help you in that regard. So I hope that we did a lot today, because you had, you yourself said you had 20 or more matters. So other than that, Mr. Lockridge, if you need anything else, you know where I'm at.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a very good day. Be safe out there.
Okay, you too.
All right. Now let's, Ms. Garner, you're gonna be next, but let's get Mr. Javante Goodman and the interpreter going. And Mr. Moore, I do have your file now. Is the interpreter ready? I don't think they're out of the breakout room.
Oh, I left him in there, Judge. So I can go back and get him.
Please, hurry up and get this done.
Before we do that, if I may discuss with Mr. Goodman a moment. It's a no registration, no insurance, and the stop sign, right?
Yes. And I will wait a second for the courtroom prosecutor to come back in, because I believe he was willing to be a little more generous in the offer. So
yeah, and I think yeah. Why don't we wait till he returns? I'll get them back into the main room.
All right. All right, let's call, well, how do they usually allow these attorneys to withdraw? Do they need the?
They can do either oral motion on the record, or they have to say something, or they can email it to me.
Do they usually, let the defendant usually have to be here?
She can't. Yeah, but I don't, I think so.
Mr. Moore, you gotta educate me a bit. How do you usually go about withdrawing? I've always had my client there. Is he frozen?
I do it a lot by verbally.
How do they usually?
No.
Are you retained, counselor?
I did it pro bono. I never got paid any money. I worked pro bono for almost a year and a half for it. And we had a breakdown. I haven't spoke to it over.
You gotta get a better reception for me, counselor. I can't understand you. Mr. Goodman, Javante Goodman, he has the 3 matters. He's the one that has the hearing and speech impairment. What do you want to do with that?
Is that the prosecutor there?
Yes.
Who am I talking to? I don't see him on my.
You're talking to the judge, and the city attorney is here now. Let's put this on the record. Is the interpreter back? Let's put this on the record.
I'm here.
Madam, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor, I am ready.
Okay. This is the city of Detroit versus Jonte Wayne Goodman, case number FP 3. Please put your appearance, please.
Your Honor, my name is Philip X. Walling, representing Mr. Goodman. Mr. Lampley, please mute yourself.
Okay. Madam Court Report, Madam Sign Interpreter, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to translate from English to sign and sign to English?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you authorized translator through the 36th District Court?
Yes, Your Honor. I am a registered interpreter for the deaf, nationally certified, and I am also endorsed level 3 in the state of Michigan, which permits me to work in the courtroom.
Very well. Can you put your appearance on the record, please?
My name is Rebecca, Rebekah Henze, Henze.
Very well. And Mr. Goss? All right. The offer for today will be to plead to responsible to the civil infraction of blocking traffic. That is a 0-point non-abstractable civil infraction. I'll fine Mr. Goodman $175, and I'll dismiss the other 2 matters.
Your Honor, and I hate to do this, but you kind of, before I had a chance to talk to the prosecutor, I have a counter offer, please. My client, is he there? My client had.
It's on the record, Mr. Goss.
Good morning, Mayor, Police and Court. Dante Goss, P60162, on behalf of the city of Detroit.
Your Honor, my client at the time had both insurance and registration, which he showed to me. I'm asking Mr. Goss to consider dismissing this matter. My client's, or at least a recommendation of a suspended sentence. My client is on disability, and I think a lot of this, although he is appropriately licensed, or was at the time, it was just a mix-up because of the hearing issue.
Disregarding the traffic signal.
Well, I have a good and valid. I have a very good and valid defense for that after talking to my client. But I'm hoping under these particular situations, because he is in compliance with the 3 matters that are here, that you might have a different perspective.
Okay, so what I think I'm hearing, who's got their matter that's interfering with the court?
Someone on a phone.
I'm gonna mute that phone. So what I think I'm hearing is that because the court routinely dismisses matters because of compliance, you're asking for a little bit of goodwill in this situation because A, he does have proper documentation and he's shown you that, and as an officer of a court, then we'll accept that you have seen that proper documentation. And B, because he has also a good and valid defense to the matter. So at the very least, he can, you understand where I'm going?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good and valid defense, but disregarding the traffic signal.
Well, wait a minute.
Your Honor, he said because of his disability. He's not saying that he could see the,
No, he didn't actually He didn't actually put up with the defense yet. He did mention his disability maybe as a part of, or a part and parcel to the reasoning of it, but he didn't actually put the defense up yet.
Yes, of counts 1 and 2, that I think was what the problem was, of counts 1 and 2, which should be dismissed because he had the appropriate documentation at the time.
Which we were dismissing anyway.
Which brings us to count 3, and then I have a good and valid defense before the law. I don't know if Judge Perkins is going to buy it or not. That's what we have trials for. But because my client was in compliance, I'm asking for some leeway on this. If you got to have a plea, I'd like a recommendation of a suspended sentence. Because
well, let me say this, Mr. Walling. The plea is responsible, is not even, is a civil infraction, and it's blockading traffic. So,
which was the fault in the first place, Your Honor.
If this wasn't special, do you honestly, God, think I'd be fighting you on a blockading traffic? I have reasons to bring to the court, but I'm trying very hard not to if we can resolve this.
Let's talk in
I would like to talk to you ahead of time.
Let's talk in the break room.
All right.
I'm gonna open up a breakout room. Mr. Walling, I'm gonna put you in breakout room 1 with Mr. Goss.
Thank you, Judge.
Very well. And then we're gonna move on to Mrs. We're gonna pass the matter shortly. Madam Interpreter, I know you have to go, but just give Mr. Walling a minute to finish his argument, please.
You got it, Your Honor.
All right. Mrs. Garner.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
We might not get through all of this before they come back, but we're going to start.
Okay.
And then we'll, of course, give the attorney an opportunity to chime in once I read you the offer.
Okay.
This is the city of Detroit versus Unique Yvette Garner, case number 1561598, counts 1, 2, and 3. Case number 17318713, counts 1 and 2. Case number 17320568, counts 1 and 2. Case number 19502443-1. Ms. Garner, I thought I had an offer sitting here for you.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Garner, that offer would be to plead to 3 counts and dismiss the rest. I'll fine you $240 for each count, and I will waive the warrant fees, and I will hold you responsible for paying the reinstatement fee.
Okay, so I just need to pay reinstatement only?
No, it's gonna be $240 a piece for each count, so that, in my calculation, $720.
Okay, so does any of my bond money go towards that?
Of course it will.
Okay.
Well, how much bond money do you have, ma'am? Let me see. You have 100 there. You got 100 there. You got 100 there. You got 200 there, you mean, heck, you on your way, Miss Garner.
Thank you.
200 there. This one doesn't have a bond, it's got a warrant out.
They didn't clear it. I had paid all the warrants.
200 there. You got a pretty nice chunk of change sitting here.
Yeah. It's
All
about
right. So that's pleading to 2 counts of failure to display. Those are misdemeanors. They don't hold any points. They do abstract, however, to the Secretary of State. And 1 count of improper place, which is also a misdemeanor, but it's 0 points and no abstraction. $240 a piece. I'll waive the warrant fees, and I'll be hold you responsible for the reinstatement fees.
okay.
You want to take that deal, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You put your hand down. Mrs. Garner, you understand that you have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give up that right to a trial?
Yes.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what I stated in the record?
No.
Are you taking this on your own free will?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Garner, let me draw your attention back to May 5th, Cinco de Mayo of 2019 at around 12:15 a.m. in the city of Detroit, in the area of Ewald Circle and Monica. Ma'am, did you have an occasion on that day to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer?
I can't remember, but if it's there, it happened.
Ma'am, it doesn't work like that.
Well, I'm gonna say yeah.
No, you doesn't work like that, ma'am. You gotta draw on your memory bank. Okay, let's do it this way. Ma'am, I'm gonna wait for the city attorney to come back on that one, so he can help you out.
Okay.
Well, this is even further in time, but maybe once you recollect, you'll have an opportunity to recollect. And ma'am, this is let me draw your attention back to March the 21st of 2017 at around 3:40 p.m. in the city of Detroit, in the area of Fourier and West 7 Mile, in the city of.
Yes, I remember that.
Ma'am, did you get pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
Well, I was parked and they just pulled behind. I remember, yeah.
Essentially, that's what I mean by being pulled over. You were actually would be detained.
Yeah.
In other regard. And on that date, ma'am, were you asked to provide a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And you couldn't do so, could you, ma'am?
No.
And why is that?
Because I never had a license.
Okay, very well. I'm going to accept your plea to the amended count of failure to display in that matter, ma'am, and I'm going to fine you $240. Ma'am, let me draw your attention to ma'am, to October 14, 2017 at around 10 p.m. in the city of Detroit, the area of Wyoming, Santa Clara Street, ma'am. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by Detroit police on that day?
Yes.
And on that day, were you asked to provide valid insurance, ma'am?
Yes.
In a 2012 Chrysler?
Yes.
And you couldn't do so, could you, ma'am?
No.
And why is that?
I didn't have a license.
I'm talking about insurance this time.
Oh, I didn't have any.
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to accept your plea to the amended count of improper plates. Mr. Walling, we are with Mrs. Garner right now. She is accepting a plea to 3 misdemeanors, 2 failure to displays, $240. I've discussed the penalties and ramifications behind it, and 1 improper plate. And we're on the 19 matter, the 1950244431. I think you need to voir dire your client as regards to that, because your client does not necessarily recollect that date and time of that incident.
What was the date there, Your Honor, on the ticket?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2019, around 12:15 a.m.
And you don't remember that, Ms. Garner?
Ewald Circle in Monica.
What was the address, sir?
Ewald Circle and Monica Street.
Yep. And that the offer is to amend that to a failure to display?
The failure to display.
Well,
yes.
And the vehicle, ma'am? Vehicle?
2007 Saturn.
Okay. Do you ever been driving a Saturn, Miss Garner?
Yeah, I had one.
Okay. Did you have a license on the day the judge read into the record?
No.
Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May?
No.
Do you deny that you were in the area of Ewald Circle and Monica in the city of Detroit?
I'm gonna say no. No, I'm not gonna deny it.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Do you remember it?
I'll be real honest. I don't. Maybe I got intoxicated after. I don't remember.
That's quite all
I
right.
know.
I
know I had
stop,
a Saturday.
Stop. When I put up my hand, that's a stop sign. All right, stop. Your Honor.
I can't see you.
Since you have the prosecutor there on that particular case, would you accept a no contest plea due to failure of memory? Ma'am, no contest plea has the same effect as a jury plea, so we can proceed on. Okay?
Okay.
I will accept that no contest. Counselor, I will accept that no contest plea as long as there's stipulation of probable cause.
Absolutely.
And will you, will your client accept the face of the ticket as a proper resuscitation of what happened on that date and time?
On behalf of my client, we will so stipulate to using the face of the ticket.
Okay, based on that, Ms. Garner, I will accept your no contest plea. That is going to, however, be treated as a not guilty plea for the purposes of this hearing today. I'm going to fine you $240 in that matter. And with the stipulation of probable cause, Counselor, I'm going to dismiss all the other matters.
Thank you, Your Honor. So stipulated.
Okay. Ms. Garner, how much time do you need to pay? I'm going to waive the warrant fees, and I'm going to hold you responsible to pay the reinstatement fees. How much do you need?
How much would the total be?
Well, Ms. Garner, for today's purposes, you're pleading to 3 counts. That's $240 apiece. By my calculation, that's $720.
Okay, so the $1,200 that I paid for bond doesn't go towards that.
Very well, very well. Mrs. Garner, here's how your bond is going to work. I'm going to have my clerk enter your bond in. I'm going to give you a telephone number that you're going to need to call to have that bond applied. Let me know when you have a piece of paper to write this down. Or, Mrs. Garner, you can come down to the 36th District Court and have them apply that bond to all your matters, and they will do that immediately.
So yeah, I could just go to the court and pay everything there instead of calling on and do it over the phone.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
so
I'll do that.
I'm going to put a date in here, Ms. Garner. When are you going to get down here?
I'm gonna go sometime this week.
All right, so if I give you a week to pay, will you be able to do that?
Yes.
Or you need more time than that?
No, I want to get it over with.
Okay, very well. I'm gonna give you
Is that bond in your name, ma'am?
Huh?
Is the bond in your name?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
We'll give you until July 26th, ma'am. Come down to the court, ask them to apply that bond immediately, and you will also be able to apply that bond to all the reinstatement fees until that money runs out. However, if you do have some money left over, ma'am, don't come down here expecting that cashier to give you cash back.
I'm good.
They're gonna give you whatever is left over. They're gonna have to mail that to you, and it's gonna take quite some time to do so.
Okay. So when I go down there, how much do I need to take with me? Or I just want to make sure that I have.
Here's how this is gonna work today. For today's purposes, $720. If you got $1,200 sitting here, you'll be fine. You don't have to bring anything with you. You have a total of by my calculation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reinstatement fees.
Okay.
And that would be 360 plus the 720. So based on a brief thing, you should be getting some money back. You should be all clear. But I'm just doing it quickly and you should be all clear. You'll get all clearances from the 36th District Court. But I got roughly 1080 here, so I'm gonna let you work your own math out, though. I'm just giving you the estimate.
Okay.
Any other questions, Ms. Garner?
Nope. So after I pay everything, then I can get my license back. And try to get my license.
I can't say that for sure, Ms. Garner, because I don't know what you have in the other jurisdictions. And I can say that you'll have automatic suspension for 30 days for these failure to displays that you pled to. So you may be on track, but that suspension will automatically generate once the Secretary of State gets this, but it'll automatically lift after the period of time has gone past.
Okay, so after 30 days, basically, then I'll be able to go to the Secretary of State.
Yes, you would. Theoretically, you should be able to, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Very well, Ms. Garner. Well, we've answered all your questions, Ms. Garner. I want to make sure that you are fully informed on what you have to do and what's expected of you. If we've done that, Ms. Garner, then you're free to leave. You have a very good day, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay. All right, bye-bye.
All right.
I think we're ready on Goodman, Your Honor.
We're recalling the case of Javante Goodman. Based on what the courtroom prosecutor, based on the discussion and the advocacy of Mr. Wally on Mr. Goodman's behalf, the court is willing to dismiss the matters. Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. And if there's no further questions, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor. He says, thank you, Your Honor.
Let me see. Let me make sure Mr. Goodman. Okay. Yes.
He understands.
We'll like these that are on. Very well.
Oh, what about my license? Do I go down to Secretary of State?
Yeah, you should be able to go down there after my clerk enters into the system. We're going to
may have a reinstatement fee, which I've talked to him about.
Pardon me?
He may have a reinstatement fee, which I talked to him about.
We're going to waive the reinstatement fee on Mr. Goodman's behalf.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further questions, you're free to leave.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Tell Mr. Goodman to be safe. Have a great day.
I will.
All right. Mr. Ligon, we haven't heard anything from, we have heard something from them? It's up here?
Yes, I made a call for it.
This is the city of Detroit versus Quincy Ligon. You don't have this on your docket, Mr. Walling. Case number SP 1204343, count 1. Mr. Ligon, whoa. I see that based on the nature of the charge, and let me inform the court that in the YouTube family that we have watching, if there's any, that I met Mr. Ligon yesterday. Mr. Boss, on the matter of Quincy Ligon. I met Mr. Ligon yesterday at the Fountain of Truth Christian Center. I was at the Fountain of Truth, and Pastor Bishop Jones, his wife, Pastor Jones, and his sons, Pastor Jones, put on a very good show in passing on the word. I think it started out is that if your mind thinks it, your life will follow. Am I correct, Mr. Ligon?
Yes, sir.
And I thought that was, I tell Bishop Jones and Pastor Jones and their family, first of all, that I'm a living testament to that. And my life, I always wanted to be a lawyer since I was a little kid, and I told the congregation this, and I didn't accomplish that until I was somewhere in the area of 38 years old. So my mind always thought it, but life didn't follow off as quick as I thought it would, right? But I felt that the man upstairs had a different path for me. And I always talked to my old brother, he told me that you are where you're supposed to be. And I thought about those words along with what Pastor said, and along with the bishop said, and I said to myself that, you know, if I was a lawyer at 25, like a lot of people do, I probably wouldn't have a law license now because I just wasn't ready. I wasn't mature enough, and that's my little piece of story. So I honestly thought that I was coming to one of those little small churches on Chalmers, because I know there's a lot of little small churches. And when I saw that big address up there, my heart took a couple of extra hard beats. I said, whoa, you know, I didn't know I was coming into all this, but they had a very special temple of God. They had a very good message, and they put that message across very well in a fun and enjoyable manner, and they welcome everybody over there. So I appreciate you having me, and I look forward to being back. However, we're dealing, and I was there for the purpose of telling everybody at the congregation that here at the 36th District Court, in my courtroom especially, we're trying to bring the court to the community. And we're trying to let everybody know, like Mr. Lockridge earlier, that we're trying to get people out driving legally on the road, and we're trying to do that in a fair, reasonable, compassionate manner. And are you a deacon there at the church, Mr. Ligon?
No, I'm Actually, I'm an armor bearer for the bishop.
You're what?
Armor bearer for the bishop.
Okay, armor bearer, okay. All right, and Mr. Ligon he came up to me and said, listen, I got something too. I want you to, we need to, I need to get taken care of. So we're more than happy to try to help you out in that regard. So,
okay, thank you.
Based on the nature of this ticket though, Mr. Ligon, I don't even have to turn it over to my courtroom prosecutor, and I don't want to turn it over to him right now because I know he's going to have a whole lot to say about it. But he's going to ask you to take the Michigan defensive driving course. And I think we talked about that yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And at that time, we're going to revisit this matter. I don't know if you had an opportunity to look up Michigan defensive driving, but it's a 8-hour course. It's online. It's 14 quizzes and 1 test. And usually I like to, I've been twisting his arm a little bit, and I said, listen, man, we gotta kind of give the people a preliminary offer if they take this course. I mean, he's been kind of tough on that, and we've been fighting back and forth, but I think we're going to come to some understanding, right, Mr. Goss? But on this case, I'm not even going to let Mr. Goss see this ticket. I don't even want him to see this ticket. I want you to take the class. I want you to come back. I'm going to allow you to zoom back in as soon as you get this class taken. And he's going to be here, and he's going to expect that you tell him some things that you learned during the class. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity with your counsel to tell your story, because everybody's got a story. All right?
Yes, sir.
So that won't fall on deaf ears. Well, it may fall on deaf ears, but at least you'll get a chance to get your truth out, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to put on this matter a pretrial date, and I guess it's no real reason. Do you have a valid driver's license, Mr. Ligon?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I guess there's no necessarily real reason to come in necessarily any time before the pretrial date. But if you would like to, you can when you successfully complete that course, because you have a valid driver's license. That's going to stay valid. We're going to give you a zero bond, personal bond, and we are going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. And as long as you make the next court date, you'll be fine. I have a pretrial date of September 17th, 2001 at 8:30 a.m. And at that time, or any time in between there, if you feel you want to take care of it sooner rather than later, which is really not necessary, you can zoom in, and we'll pull the file, and you'll be able to provide that documentation, and we'll deal with the matter then. All right?
Okay. I have a question.
Certainly.
About the Michigan defensive driving class. Is it not offered in person?
It's not offered in person.
Okay.
It's not offered in person, unfortunately.
So just go to Michigan Driving defensedriving.com.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
All right. So, like I say, I want to congratulate your bishop and your pastor on 51-year anniversary. That is a feat of itself. And I just was very impressed by the job that you guys are doing over there in the neighborhood on Chalmers. And what's the side street?
Longview.
Longview. So I want to congratulate you guys on the job that you're doing over there. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
If there's no other questions, Mr. Ligon, then I will see you soon.
Yes, I will.
Have a very good day, sir.
All right, you too as well. God bless.
Bless you as well. All right, Mr. All right, Mr. London, you've been there since day one. You've been on here since the beginning.
Yes,
So
Your
I'm gonna deal with that right quick, and then we're gonna get to Mr. Moore's matter. I just wanted to have some discussion with the courtroom prosecutor on your matter. You know I'm new here, Mr. Moore, so I just want to make sure that I'm dealing with this withdrawal. I don't think that there's going to be any problem at all, but I just want to make sure I'm dealing with this properly and as the court rules dictate, okay? So just give me a minute longer on that. This is the City of Detroit versus Derek Lamont London, case number 14-575-797, counts 1 and counts 2. Mr. London, there is an offer here in the file to plead to the amended count of failure to display and dismiss the no insurance ticket. I'll fine you $240 for that. I'll waive the warrant fees. I'll hold you responsible for the reinstatement fee. Mr. London, you do have Mr. Walling on the line. If you'd like to speak with him, and you do have a right to a trial in these matters, and these matters are 7 years old. So I'll let Mr. Walling. I know. Mr. Walling?
Mr. Walling?
Yes?
Would you like to speak to Mr. London in the breakout room on these 2018 matters?
I think a brief moment with Mr. London might be appropriate.
I don't think it's necessary to even speak with them, Mr. Walling. You can just do your thing, probably. I said, on these 2014 matters?
Well, I'll move to dismiss if I don't need to talk to Mr. London. I just, wonder how much fight I'm going to get out of Mr. Goss on that.
And the basis for your dismissal, Mr. Walling?
Age of the ticket.
Okay, Mr. Goss. All right, based on the memorandum of understanding with the based on the memorandum of understanding with the state and city of Detroit, we're going to dismiss these matters based on the age of the ticket. Mr. London, I'm going to waive the warrant fee, but I'm going to hold you responsible for paying the reinstatement fee in these matters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything further, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, very well. If there's nothing further, you have a good day.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're very much welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Walling.
Mr. Boss, Mr. Moore has a withdrawal as counsel, House counsel refused to represent her. I gave her a new arraignment date to retain another counsel. Well, that's the note I have here.
I just wrote that. Yeah. I didn't know what else to do with her.
I don't know if she has I don't know.
What's she scheduled for today?
No, that was Friday.
She's scheduled for Friday.
He just want to withdraw. She didn't come on. She didn't
Came
sign
on
on.
after
Do we
you
need
left.
her? We should have her online. We really should have her online. Can you get her to sign on, Mr. Moore?
Oh.
You're muted, sir.
I haven't had any contact with her. There's a breakdown attorney-client relationship.
Well, when is the next court date that she's supposed to be here? Let me see. Why can't you just sign on at the next court date? Why does this have to be done now, or this was, her date was last week, right? And what my understanding is that
She
you-
showed up late. I showed up timely, and the clerk told me to go ahead and sign off. And then she called me back later on that day and said that she came in late. So I don't know what her next date is.
She's got a whole lot of matters here. I thought it was just this ticket.
And yeah, I was doing this pro bono. I never received any money from her. I was representing her about a year and a half.
I don't think the court rules care about that, Mr. Moore.
Okay.
Once you sign in, you've been around the block. I can feel your pain, but you've been around the block. Once you sign that piece of paper, you on until the court lets you off. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to allow Mrs. Lamb to be heard.
Okay.
And let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus Yvette Patrice Lamb, case number SP 1138131, counts 1, 2, and 3. And there's plenty of other cases here, but we'll use that case as the case so we can create a record. Mr. Moore, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Gregory L. Moore, P3 4437.
Okay.
Pro bono for Miss Lamb.
Express that pro bono.
Yes, no money.
Mr. Moore, I do understand that you're making an oral motion here to withdraw from the case based on a breakdown in the relationship of the attorney and client. I do see that Mrs. Lamb was scheduled to be here July 16, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. I do understand that Mrs. Lamb was here, albeit very late, and a date was rescheduled for an arraignment at 8/16/2021 at 1:30 p.m. I am inclined to I understand those motions are routinely granted based on the breakdown. I am inclined to grant that motion. However, without having Mrs. Lamb here and present and the opportunity to be heard, I'm gonna hold that in abeyance, and I'm gonna wait until 8/16/2021 at 1:30 when Mrs. Lamb's time to check back in. Is there anything you would like to say further for the record, Mr. Moore?
By then, I'll prepare a written motion and I'll mail it to her last known address.
Okay, very well. For the record, Mr. Moore, you're going to prepare a written motion and mail it to Mrs. Lamb's last known address. That motion to withdraw, and we'll entertain that motion if Mrs. Lamb appears, regardless of whether Mrs. Lamb, we're going to give her an opportunity to appear. So by that time, we're going to rule on that motion on August 16th, 2021.
At 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
Very well. If there's nothing further, you have a very good day.
Okay. I was also on the phone. I'll cut off the phone.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
See you, Greg.
Okay, Phil. Take care.
You bet.
Okay.
Okay. This is the city of Detroit versus Ronald Therese Leonard Lampley. Case numbers SP 1120081, counts 1, 2, and 3, which all have warrants.
Huh?
Hold on, Mr. Lampley.
I'm gonna say the wrong one.
No, it's not the wrong one. If you're Ronald Therese Leonard Lampley,
I'm
but
junior.
You're junior? Date of
Yes.
birth, 21, 1985?
No, my birthday is 3/24/83. That's my little brother.
Is he Ronald Lampley too?
Yes, he's the third. I'm junior.
Okay. So that's sort of like a George Foreman type thing, huh?
Yeah, I've been going through it all my life.
And you haven't been able to talk your little brother into stopping this?
No, I'm about to try to get married to change my name.
Well, but I stand to be corrected. This is case number, strike that. Strike those last case numbers. This is March 24th, 1983.
Yes, sir.
This is case number SP 1142609. Counts 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. He only has one, but he has civil infractions that went along with this case, and it appears that he has paid both civil infractions. Am I correct in that regard, Mr. Lampley?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So did your brother pay them?
No, I paid him.
Okay.
Disregard the civil and then the question on the different. So based on that, we're in with our goal of being fair, compassionate, and reasonable, we're going to dismiss the other matter. You paid 2 civil infractions, 1 incurred points on there. So I think it's only fair that we're going to be fair to you like we've been fair to everybody else that we believe. Is that fair enough, Mr. Lampley?
Yes, sir.
All right. Based on that, we're going to dismiss the matter. What about getting a hold of your little brother? Tell him to come on in.
I'm gonna let him deal with his own issues. I'm gonna just stay away from him.
All right, very well.
I'm not even sure recommending going get a flash letter would help this Mr. Lampley.
Well, I appreciate you zooming in, Mr. Lampley, and your matter is dismissed. If you don't have any further questions, then you have a very good day, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I know Mrs. Green. Are you there? You've been on the line. Who's this Courtney White? Yeah. She's on the cell phone, the iPhone.
Oh, thank you.
What's your name, sir? You gotta unmute yourself.
Gaskew, Kareem.
Okay. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And then I have another icon that's on the line. that doesn't have their video on. What's your name, sir? Good morning to
Mr.
you.
Hamilton?
Mr.
Hamilton.
Say that again?
Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Yes, sir.
I think you're in the wrong courtroom, sir. You're supposed to be in Judge Millhouse's courtroom.
Oh, Lord. This is the number they gave me to zoom in.
What we'll do is, what's your first name, sir?
Andre.
Andrea?
No, yeah, A, no A, sir.
No A.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Andre Leon Hamilton?
No, Ramon. R-A-M-O-N-E.
I see. So you are supposed to be in Mrs. Millhouse's courtroom. Can we give them the Zoom ID?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then what we'll do is we'll call her court and tell him he was in our court. We didn't know because he was under the iPhone name, but I did see your face a long time ago, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a way you can transfer me to her courtroom?
I wish I could, I would, but I can't. You have to hang up and we have to zoom into her courtroom, and her courtroom is 360.
340 0000.
36040.
No, 360-340-0000.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
So 360, 340, and 4 zeros.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Very well. Have a good day, Ms. Hamilton.
You too as well. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna call over there as well. All right, Mrs. Green.
Did you do Mr. Owens without me, Your Honor? William Owens? A no registration?
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
Mrs. Green, are you there? Mrs. Green, let's go to the next one. Mr. Gaskew, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
All right, can you give Mr. Gaskew, please? You've been here before, Mr. Gaskew?
Yes, sir. Last month.
Why is it just one? Why do I have just one thing? What's going on with that?
Are we?
No, I see it on my screen, just one. I know I'm typing it in.
Oh, okay, right. Because then I can make. You just want our ways now?
I think we have it, as long as it's an updated thing.
Let me do it. I think that's right.
I would like to be able to see it on the screen, maybe, because I need to put this in here. Mr. Gaskew.
Yes.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But what do you, I see an allegation here, it's all allegations, because you have a right to be heard. I'm not gonna give you a chance to be heard on this. What's up with the parking in the handicap zone?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What's up with the parking in the handicap zone?
That was I believe I put my to get my sister's car out the impound. Her car got impounded in Ann Arbor. She had to put it in somebody's name. She put it in my name, and before she switched it to her name, she got that ticket. It was a long time ago.
Oh, so it's your sister thing, Paul.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one too. Because you would never park in a handicap, would you? Being a
I wasn't driving at that time.
what I perceive as an able-bodied, fully functioning human being, right?
Yeah.
All right. You know where I'm going with that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
There's people that really need them spots. So what did we discuss last time, Mr. Gaskin?
You was pushing. You put all my tickets together, and you wanted me to do a driver's course training class.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I completed the class. I got it. In order to show you, I had to screenshot it on my other phone real quick. My
all right, let's do this. Let's start this way. Let's start by calling the case. And we lost Mrs. Green for some reason. She was on here for a while, and now she's gone. Maybe we took up too much time. This is the city of Detroit. Is that Jabela?
Jabela.
Jabela. This is the city of Detroit versus Kareem Jabela Askew Jr. Case numbers SP 1081916 counts 1, 2, and 3. And case numbers SP 1173703 counts 1 and 2. Mr. Gaskew, I did say, and I have it here, that we're going to set aside the defaults. All of these civil infractions were had during the pandemic, and I will set aside those defaults and allow you to be heard on those. I don't think there's an offer. You must have just zoomed in on your own, did you, Mr. Gaskew?
Yeah, I had to call the court, and they gave me my court date in the Zoom number.
Yeah, so you took it a step further, and you said, "Listen, I'm gonna jump on this before it gets any worse than it is. I'm not gonna wait on the court. I'm gonna call in, and I'm gonna take these matters." Now, Mr. Gaskin, can you email me that certificate?
Yes.
You have a pen with you, sir?
It's off.
No off.
Four matters, right?
It's 5. It's really 5 matters. It's 2, a driving while license suspended and no insurance. And then he has 3 civil infractions, no movement insurance, no plate, speeding. 4 docket. Let's do this. I'm going to send you my email address in the chat. Get that?
Yes, I'm about to send it now.
Okay, very well. So, Mr. Walling?
Yes, sir.
Again, Mr. Gaskew has, I don't know if you have him. Yeah, he's on the docket.
Yes, he is.
So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 matters on the docket. However, it should be 5 in that he's going to have a speeding ticket, no plate, and no proof of insurance. All 3 of those are civil infractions. Then he has 2 misdemeanors, a driving while license suspended, and a no insurance misdemeanor.
Okay.
So he did take the Michigan defensive driving course. He's about to provide me proof of that. And then I'll let you and Mr. Goss find it out on the offer. He's going to give us, now please put your appearance on the record, Mr. Goss.
Don Goss, we have the city of Detroit. Mr. Rowland, the offer is going to be plead to no plate civil infraction, which is a 0-point infraction, and limited access 65 and a 55, which is a 1-point infraction on the speeding, which was a 4-point ticket that is already defaulted. So he'll be taking 3 points off his license.
How about
and dismiss everything else?
How about as a counter offer? How about the no insurance ticket to a?
Man, I like Mr. Walling.
For what?
Put your appearance on the record, Mr. Walling.
My name's Philip X. Walling, representing Mr. Gaskew. I want, something with no points. You want to make it a failure to display? I don't really care.
Failure to display suspends his license for 30 days.
Well.
And I guess my biggest issue is also speeding 21 and 25.
All right, let's stop here. Mr. Gaskew.
Yes.
You took the class, right?
Yes, I just sent the documentation though.
All right, let's have some spirited discussion on the class itself. It's we talked about this. What did you get out of it? Let's talk about that.
I got a.
And let me say this. It's like a test in school, right? The more verse answer that you give, probably the better credit that you're gonna get. So let's now. With me saying that, you go ahead.
I treated it like a test in school, and as I read, I took notes on important stuff I thought was gonna be in the test. So I learned about how to deal with a crash, like side swiping and slow down. If you're on the freeway, I learned about turn-offs, kinetic energy, how to deal with the 2 types of rain, first rain, light rain. I got notes on how to control the skid or blowout, what to do if you're accelerator stick.
Wait a minute now. He done landed on you thick here, Mr. Goss. He done put it on you, Mr. Goss. He said he even put out kinetic energy out there.
No. I want to change that right now to 16 to 55. Limited access.
Mr. Walling, you want me to give Mr. Gaskew a little more time?
I think you should, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Mr. Gaskew. You're doing good. I didn't.
The 2 type of brakes, the disc brakes, drum brakes. I learned what to do with downshifts. I think it's the no speed zone. I learned what type of sign that is, what shape it is. It's a pentagon. And emergency vehicles, what to do, treat flashing red lights and stoplights. If I'm in the right lane, finna turn, and it's a car ahead of me finna turn, I got the right of way. What else was it?
Now let me ask you this, Mr. Gaskew, and this is just for my own education, because you know what I was thinking about last night, right? What I want to do is I'm going to go ahead, and if the court won't pay for it out of their pocket, I'm going to pay for it out of my own pocket. I'm going to sit down and take the Michigan defensive driving course myself, because I don't think that it's really fair for me to ask other people to do something, and I don't know anything about it. But I did take the Tennessee defensive driving course back in 2008 when I was speeding through Tennessee. And I didn't want to have to go back, and I didn't want any points on my license, like you don't, right? And one of the things that was particularly that I learned about speeding it's best just to go to speed limit. Did they talk about that in that class or not?
Yes, they did.
And they said if you go to the speed limit, first of all, you're gonna save time, because how much time did you lose getting pulled over?
I lost about a half an hour to an hour.
Almost an hour, I'm sure, and then secondly, when you do the speed limit, even if you don't get caught, then you're speeding up, slowing down, as opposed to just driving a steady speed limit, and you'll get there quicker than you would. They talked about that in that course?
Yes, and along with it, it had the fatalities of numbers of crashes caused by speeding, and the dangers of speeding. So yes, I understand all that.
Well, let me say this. Regardless of what Mr. Goss intends on doing with this ticket, I applaud you, because since I've been here, and which hasn't been long, I've only been here a couple of months. I've asked a number of people to take that Michigan defensive driving course, and we've all asked the same thing of everybody to tell us what they learned. And you have given the most thorough answer by leaps and bounds. Because and I understand Mr. Goss's position on wanting to hear something about the class. And I think the overriding thing, well, he does have good intentions on making sure that you learn something out the class. But I think the overriding thing is he's just making sure that you took the class and didn't let somebody else do it and then da-da-da. But you displayed that you've taken this seriously and that you have actually, can't you say you actually got something out of this class?
Yes.
It wasn't a waste of your time. You didn't look at it as a waste of your time. Probably initially you thought you were, right? I mean, be honest.
It was kind of fun to me when I think that it was so many chapters. Then when I found out it was 2 parts to the test, like you took a test after a chapter and you got your final exam, but they let you go back and study for it. So it was kind of fun once I got the downtime. I did it at night after I did all my, day work throughout the day. It was a little night activity for me.
Okay, so now, Mr. Walling, you go ahead. And Mr. Gaskew he's giving you all the artillery in the world. I see it looks like Mr. Goss is over here a little more buttered up. I don't know. Go ahead, I'll give you the floor, Mr. Walling.
Let my people go.
All right. I don't know if you can say it any better than that.
However, you did an excellent presentation of what you learned in the class, and you only had your driver's license for 3 years, a little over 3 years. So this is what I'm going to do, because I think you learned a lot from the class. I'm going to just hold you to the limited access 6055 and
Hold on, you know what? Can I do this?
What?
Remember, he's been on here all morning, and we talk about operating on a level. And okay. I'm not saying I'm not even slightly alluding to you being unfair. You're one of the most fairest city attorneys. Even when I was practicing law, you were one of the most fair city attorneys that there is. But I will say this. We talked about trying to get a level of consistency with all of our agents. I think that's the hardest part, I think, about Mr. Goss's job and our jobs and Mr. Wall. I think that's the hardest part. But when I look at this, and I gotta accept the offer, but I can give my input. When I look at this and I look at on a level of fundamental fairness, I say, we let Mr. Lockridge go with 20 matters, and you gave him basically the sweetest heart deal to get him on the road. Mr. Gaskew, young guy, we understand the situations with insurance in our city, Mr. Gaskew has exceeded, by your own words, leaps and bounds on, and I applaud you with that. If you do that kind of work on whatever you want to do, how old are you, Mr. Gaskew?
26.
You're 26 years old. Let me just say this. I got a daughter that's 26 years old. Let me just say this to you. You're in a position in your life that you can do whatever you want to do in life. You can become whatever you want to become. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I always wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't get there until I was 38 years old. And I say that to say you can do anything. I worked at Ford Motor Company, right? And I started on the line when I was 23. That's after I messed college up, got kicked out, came back home, and I'm just like, I got to do something with myself. So it was, then it kind of clicked. You know, it's time for me to start changing my life. And I have a good friend of mine, and it's probably a story on the wrong path I took and the right path he took. I got a good friend of mine, and we worked on the line together. And while I was studying to be first of all, studying just to finish undergraduate, he was studying to finish undergraduate as well. I had the aspirations of being a lawyer, and he had the aspirations of being a doctor. And fast forwarded to 2001, well, before then, we both completed our aspirations and our goals. But now I'm just a lonely old judge. I'm a civil servant, and I'm not complaining about my situation. I love the position I'm in right now, and God has benefited me. But my salary is on public record. It's you can figure it out. My buddy is a brain surgeon.
Wow.
He's a brain surgeon. And we started on the line at Ford Motor Company together. Now, I won't tell you how much he makes, but it's eons more than me. You see what I'm saying? And not that you want to be a lawyer or you want to be a doctor or whatever you want to be, but you're 26 years old, and if you keep doing work like you did on that class, how insignificant that class may seem, if you keep doing work on that, you'll be whatever you want to be. That's all I'll say.
Let's go to trial right now.
So, I was trying to look at his pocketbook also.
Okay.
The limited access is only 125, and what I was saying was the limited access, I would dismiss anything else. However, if he's willing to spend the money, he would have to do the blockading and the no plates.
Okay. And what I would say to that,
because
yes,
as gracious as you are thinking about my clients' dollars and cents, the big picture is he's got to insure this car in the city of Detroit.
Yes, and I would say, and here it is, and I know I'm gonna hear it from Mr. Goss, and I'm gonna have to deal with it at the end of the day because he reads me the riot act all the time. But really, the cost I'm gonna fine you if you want to take that offer. I'm gonna fine you $175 for the blockading traffic, which is a 0-point offense. It is no abstraction. It is a civil infraction. It'll never be on your record.
Just that.
It gets better and better. And most of it was, Mr. Gaskew, you are the type of person that is deserving of a break. And I think that, and Mr. Goss has a heart and compassion. And he's bold, He has bosses. We all have bosses, but he's bold, and he's saying, "Listen, I'm big boy. If my boss come back, then I'm gonna tell him what it is, and it's just gonna be that way." So, but I think that's why they have him in that position as well too, because he knows how to make the right decision. So, based on that, It's just going to be blocking traffic, $175 fine, 0 points, no abstraction on your record, and it's not even a misdemeanor, it's a civil infraction. You pay the fine, it's over. I can't do any better for you.
Yes, thank you. I'll take that. I got one question. After I could pay the fine today, I can insure and register my cars today. Well, insure it, and then I got to set up my Secretary of State appointment. How soon would I be able to get my license back? Because I landscape, and that's a part of my
Secretary of State.
The reinstatement fees? Right, reinstatement fees.
Awesome.
His driving record's in there. The only thing on his license are those 3 tickets.
Okay, so only thing that you have are these default civil infractions that are in your license. Once you pay the $175, go ahead.
Your Honor, since you said he did such a great job and he deserves opportunity, you know, it's in your power to waive those fees.
I'm already there. We're on the same page. I'm going to, if you want to take this offer, I'm gonna waive the reinstatement fees in the matter. You're just gonna have to pay the $175. Mr. Gaskew, what I want you to do though is this goodwill that you're receiving today, that's very goodwill. I want you to take it upon yourself to pass that goodwill on to someone else that you see in need, all right? You're an able-bodied young man, you're an educated young man. Well, I don't know how much education you have, but I know that whatever education you have the potential to do and be anything that you want. So I would implore you to start to get involved in doing some community service. And I would implore you to just pass that goodwill on to, the kids in your neighborhood or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So based on that, if you want to accept this offer, it's a very good offer, and you'll be able to go back and get your license as soon as you get to the Secretary of State appointment, if you don't have anything in any other jurisdictions.
Oh yes, I'll accept the offer.
All right. Can you raise your right hand, Mr. Gaskew? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gaskew, let me draw your attention to, let's say,
May 6, 2020.
May 6, 2020, at around 2:12 p.m. Which one do you want to put on the record? Speed. It's this one. Which one? Speed. Okay. Mr. Gaskew, were you in the area on that day of East Warren and Burns Street in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And on that day, were you pulled over by a Detroit police officer?
Yes.
And on that date, were you pulled over because you were speeding, Mr. Gaskew?
Yes.
And that speed was clocked at 21 51 and a 30. And we'll get to that in a second too. But you were speeding and you knew you were speeding, right, Mr. Gaskew?
Yes.
All right, based on that, I'm gonna accept your responsible plea to the amended count of blocking traffic. I'm gonna fine you $175. And I'm going to, you said you can pay today, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna hold you responsible for paying today. All right, so I'm gonna dismiss the other matters based on the stipulation of probable cause, Counselor.
So stipulated.
And I'm gonna waive the any warrant fees, and I'm gonna waive any reinstatement fees.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so let's just briefly discuss the speeding ticket. Mr. Gaskew, you're going 21 over. Do you have kids?
Yes, I just became a father a year ago.
A year ago. So you got a 1-year-old that's just starting to walk, right?
Yes, sir.
And you know where I'm going, don't you?
Yes, I remember the area I was speeding at. It was like if I had a moment to speak, one thing I learned that was very new to me too when I was taking that test, and now that I could go back and think about it, that when a person speeds, like when a person drives, it's off their emotions. You know, there's no excuse or anything, but due to what was going on, and it was just a childish act. You know, I wasn't. I can say I probably wasn't even in a bad mood. Probably was just too happy or something, and just not thinking. And it just, I understand.
That driving course also told you that if you don't even see a speed limit sign, you know what
25
speed it is. Yes.
It's appropriate for safety.
Yes.
So
what I'm getting at is you take your 1-year-old that's just beginning to walk, and you're getting everybody out the car, or you're outside, and you turn your head, and your 1-year-old darts out the street. Even at 25 miles an hour, even at the speed limit, some real bad things can happen, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
at 21 miles an hour over, what do you think is going to happen?
A disaster.
A disaster. I'm done. All right, I'm done. You get it. I understand that. And go ahead.
Just, Mr. Gaskin, just know once you get a ticket, you have to address it. That's why your license is suspended. When it went to the court, your license got suspended. So if you get another ticket, make sure you contact the court so you can still have driving privileges.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
One more question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Do I go downtown to pay, right?
You can pay. You can come down here to 36th District Court and pay it, or you can, because I know you're gonna get a ride or catch the bus because you don't have a driving license now. Yeah. But come down to the court and pay it, or you can pay it online, or you can pay it at any DivDav kiosk in the city of Detroit. And those are, I'm told, at CVS's, and I'm also told, I know that they're at the Meyer. I know I saw one at the Meyer on 8 Mile.
Okay, I'm right down the street from 8 Mile. Okay, thank you.
So I'm gonna hold you responsible for $175. Mr. Gaskew, it would be my pleasure when the court opens up that if you find the time, it will be my pleasure to meet you in person, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
When will everything open back up, if you don't mind me?
I don't know. I mean, we seem like we're starting to turn around and go in reverse again, but all we can do is our part, and you know, the man upstairs is gonna do the rest. So, but I would like to invite you down, and I would like to meet you in person.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm flattered.
Very well, Mr. Gaskin. Be safe. If you don't have any further questions, you're free to leave.
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you to all, and y'all have a great day.
All right. Very well. Miss Green, you finally found us again, huh?
Maybe.
My phone died.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Hold on.
How you doing, Miss Green?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, my phone died and I had to find a charger.
I was wondering where you were, Mrs. Courtney's iPhone.
My phone died. I had to find a charger.
Okay.
We got it.
I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize, ma'am. I understand. But I was looking for you, though.
Okay, I'm here.
I was about to issue a bench warrant and send the police to your house to come pick you up.
No. I want to get this done.
Let's judge it over, Ms. Green. Relax.
All right. Are you Courtney Christina Chloe Leitner?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the city of Detroit versus Courtney Christina Chloe Leitner. Case number U20646014. Case numbers 13-4353-921. Case number 14-4206-751. Case number 14-43-81711. Appearance for the record, please.
Philip Walling representing Ms. Leitner.
Leitner.
Okay.
Yes.
There's an offer here, and I know Mr. Walling we're gonna make some representations as he always does, and we're gonna give him an opportunity to do that. He knows what to do. But there's an offer in this file, man, that U ticket is a 14 ticket as well.
You said that's what?
There's an offer in this file to plead to the U ticket here, the In the Park After Dark, 3-month delay, $240 fine, and I'll dismiss upon payment. But I'm going to allow Mr. Walling to put his appearance on the record and be heard on the matter.
Regarding the In the Park After Hours, Your Honor, what happens to the other tickets? It doesn't.
Yes, it doesn't have any other adjudication on those matters in the file.
Well, Mr. Goss, what's the plan here?
I don't even know if you need Mr. Goss on this one. There's from you've been around the block. You've been around the block, Mr. Walling, plenty of times.
But these tickets have also been around the block. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Around back and forth.
I'm just trying to get my life back.
Listen, Miss Leitner. I'm gonna say this. Do you have a camera?
Yeah, but I look crazy.
I don't care what you look like. You got to put the camera on. All right, you don't look crazy. Look at you looking good. That's something. I hate to see her when she be stopping everybody when she gets. All right.
I put my lashes off. And I just look crazy.
So, Mr. Walling, Mr. Walling, you've been around the block. These tickets have been around probably more blocks than you have.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. It looks to me like they're all from 2013 and 2014. Is that correct?
It seems that way, sir.
Well, under those circumstances, Your Honor, because of the age of the tickets, I'll move to dismiss these matters.
I knew Mr. Walling knew what he was doing. Do you want to
give me a hint as to the age of them, you know?
Put your appearance on the record, sir.
Dante goes to heaven in the city, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, even though the tickets are very old, and I admit that, Your Honor, however, is Mrs. Courtney Leitner's failed to appear on so many occasions. So city, would represent that she take the plea and we move forward. However, it's totally up to your discretion.
Ms. Leitner, let me ask you this. Do you know what's going on right now?
I'm hearing it, but I was young and dumb. I know when I get a ticket just to pay it now. I didn't know back in the day.
Well, let me stop you there. I was a lawyer representing private practice before I became a judge, and I'm still a lawyer. But I'm just not allowed to represent anybody. I'm a judge now. But I would never just say pay the ticket and just get it over with. Even not being a lawyer. Let me finish what I'm saying. Even not being a lawyer, I would always suggest that people use the legal system to the full advantage of it, because a lot of times, and people don't understand, they're paying these red light tickets or speeding tickets, and they're saying, "Hey, I did it. I want to pay it and get it out the way." you're accepting all responsibility that comes along with paying those tickets. Now, in your case, I get what you're saying. You're saying, listen, I've matured. We've had a few people on this thing this morning. Go ahead. You want to say, you want to talk?
Yes, I want to say something. Okay, let me reiterate it. What I was saying was, now I'm older, I will avoid getting them type of tickets. And that's why I want to get my license back, so I don't have to get driving without no license ticket, because I wasn't mature enough to know, oh, you need your license to drive, or, you know, don't speed or don't go fast, don't be in the park at the dark. You know, I was young. I know. I got son in college now, you know, so I'm not doing them things anymore. So what I'm saying is that I was trying to avoid some type of things now. That's all
I'm gonna say this to you. I can appreciate that, and I can appreciate, like you heard this morning, there's a lot of people that have come to that reckoning with themselves and said, listen, it's time for me to get this stuff behind me and change my life. But, you know, I'll say this, that we never know what type of situation we're gonna be in the future. You know, what was one thing that I always stand by, but for the grace of God, there go I. You know, and that's saying that, hey, it's a whole lot of people in the penitentiary that's got doing time for something that they didn't do, but they're still locked up for. So I just say this: we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I just say use the justice system to its full advantage when you get a ticket, if you get a ticket. Hopefully you don't get a ticket. And I do understand that you are more mature now, and you're going to face the matters when they come up, if they do come up immediately, and you won't let it linger on. Based on the motion that your counsel, Mr. Walling, has presented to me, I have heard the city and their response. I think the city knows where I'm going to go, and I'm gonna grant Mr. Walling's motion. I'm going to dismiss the matters based on the age of the case, and I am going to waive the warrant fees, but I'm going to hold you responsible for all the reinstatement fees, Mrs.
Thank you.
Mrs. Leitner. Which college was your son or daughter?
My son, he goes to Southern University in Kentucky, where I live at.
Southern University in Kentucky. Are you in Kentucky now?
Yes, I'm in Kentucky now. Yes.
So you've absconded from Mr. Walling. Your client tells me she's absconded from the matter as well.
You know,
you have something to say. You got something to say about that, Mr. Walling?
As much as I enjoy your conversation with me, with my clients, it gets real hard for me to unring bells. and, you know, or if I could put it more succinctly, Your Honor, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies. So I really need to bring it in, Your Honor, before I gotta try and unring bells.
All right, there we go. All right, I do appreciate that. What year is your son at Southern University?
He about to go into his sophomore year.
He's about to go into his sophomore year, and I'm sure that you need every penny that you can muster up.
And he going for international business and culinary arts. So that's what he going for.
All right, very well. Maybe one day you can bring us a nice. He can take. You say, hey, when we come up to Michigan, when we come back up to Michigan, we'll cook the whole.
I can drive to you now.
Well, not yet. So based on that, I'm going to dismiss the matters. I'm going to waive the warrant fees, and I'm going to hold you responsible to pay the reinstatement fees, Mrs. Leitner. So if there's nothing dismissing based on the age of the case, motion is granted, and If there's nothing further, good luck to you, ma'am, and good luck to
the
your.
bond, so it's the bond will go towards the cost because I have to bond out.
Okay, so the bond will go toward the reinstatement fees. I see that you're in Kentucky, you're in Kentucky. So what you can do is you can pay the reinstatement fees online right now, and that bond will eventually be returned to you. Or you can take this number down, ma'am. You have the ink pen?
Oh.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay.
313-965-5228.
Okay, that's 313.
965-5228. I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
Okay. So what you can do is I can have my clerk put in a request to apply that bond, and then after that, give her about an hour, and then you can call that number and tell them you want that bond to be applied.
Okay.
All right.
Is the bond, is that her name? Pardon me, is the bond in her name?
Is the bond in your name, Mrs.
Yeah.
White?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
very well.
That
should be fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any further questions, ma'am?
Yeah.
All right.
I just want my mail back. That's it.
And good luck to your son. Have a great day. All right, Mrs. Green, are you there now?
Okay.
Do you have any further questions, Mrs. Leitner? All right, Mr. Lyle. Mr. Lyle, what's going on?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What
I had
brings
a
you
hearing
here?
I'm sorry, sir. I had a hearing with, I believe, Judge Langston on 6/22. He told me that he had so it wasn't Judge Langston, but I had a hearing on 6/22 in which they applied a $240 charge to me.
That was me, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I've been so confused about finding this room. I apologize for that.
Okay, go ahead.
You told me that if I wasn't able to pay by the 20th to get to join back into the Zoom meeting and talk to you, I got laid off.
How much time do you need to pay, Mr. Lyle?
A month. I go back to work August 9th. I can have
Mr.
it to you by the
Lyle?
end of August.
Mr. Lyle, you've done what you've been asked to do. I'm gonna give you another 30. Do we have to put that on the record?
We don't have to.
Okay. What is it? August 18th? Is that long enough?
I don't go back to work until August 9th. I would appreciate it if I can get 2 weeks after going into work. So instead of the 18th, maybe the 25th.
Let's do it like this. Pay by September 17th, 2021. September 17th, 2021. So here's how it's gonna go. If you pay before September, well, whenever you pay, zoom back in. So my clerk can close out the matter. So it's just, because what I'll see here is I'll see that you paid, but it'll still have that disposition on there, and you want the matter closed out so that if the rest of the world looks at it, they know the matter's closed. And the only way we'll know is if you zoom back in once you pay.
That's no problem. As soon as I pay, I'll jump right back in, and now I know where to come now.
Very well. If there's nothing further, sir, you're free to leave. Have a great day.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
All right. Mrs. Green, she seems to be having difficulty. Mrs. Green has 3 matters, 1 speeding, 6 and a 10, and no registration, no proof of insurance. Are those
Default?
No.
I made an offer.
You made an offer, limited access, 60 and 55. Mr. Wallen?
Yeah, I'm looking up Ms. Green. Of course, on the docket, it's just merely a no insurance.
Yeah, she has 2 civil infractions, but I can see they haven't been defaulted because I see the amount. Well, let me stop that and say that they may have been defaulted.
So there's only one on the docket.
Right. Might I suggest this? She plead on the one on the docket to improper plate, then you dismiss the other 2.
You know, speeding, come on, I can't just.
There's only 6 to 10 over though.
And I don't know at this point. I understand speeding is a problem. I get it. But you don't cure the problem forcing people to drive underground. If we can get everybody licensed and fix that problem, then we can work on the speeding issue. But forcing everybody to go underground because they can't afford insurance because they see a speeding ticket on their driving record, the insurance companies, I don't know that we've accomplished anything.
Let me see, Mrs. And
let's pull up your right here.
And then I'll say this, this is just we've been in the given season today. It only appears that she has had 4 total matters here. And all of them are the other one is closed, but Mr. Ross wants to see it right now.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you get.
That's right. Okay, no, I'll do it right now. Acacia?
Yeah, and as a comment, I like your hairdo too. Yours.
Oh, thank you, yours.
I'm giving out. I'm gave up later.
He been gave out. He says he says all the gifts are gone, Mr. Wallen.
Not gifts, just good public policy.
Well, I swear, I like that. I like that. Is some House counsel I don't ever want to see again, but Mr. Walling is not one of them. He is throwing down.
Set that bar low, baby. Yeah, I can tolerate Wally.
When I see your name, I know I'm gonna have a fight with you.
Oh boy,
it's a good give
1.5 pages. Valid license.
Blockading
if she comes back.
Works for me.
$175. I'll try to get the money today.
Now, was it Mr. Goss? You know, it's not like I'm trying to get that last molar out of your teeth.
I think he does a thorough job, though. You know, I gotta agree with Mr. Goss. He's looking at all the factors, and I do have to agree with him. If somebody is worthy of a lot, because we see a lot of people that aren't worthy at all, and some of them that aren't even appreciative. But I know that I don't know what Mrs. Green, whether she looks to be worthy. I don't know if she's going to be appreciative, but I do know that she's been trying to keep connecting 3 or 4 times. And
I will say this, Your Honor. If I was looking for appreciation, I picked the wrong profession.
I got you. I know that's right.
So that's not my guiding principle. You know?
I see. Trust me, I think that is the right way to look at it too. Because sometimes you go and you almost go to the end of the earth for some people and they don't appreciate it.
And, and Mr. Goss and I have had this, with you listening this discussion before. If it's just about moving money around within the court system, I'm all in. I just don't want to give any money to the blood-sucking insurance companies.
Yeah, they're getting it too.
Of course they are.
I can't believe how much I pay in insurance. It's just unreal.
Right.
And I got an 09 Grand Marquis.
What else is in the household? Though?
Yeah, but still.
She's best.
Miss Green, you just unmute. You gotta unmute yourself. Miss Green, you about to miss out on all this goodwill that's been given on because you can't connect your phone.
No, I've been on here the whole time. I think
I know you've been on here, but every time I called your name, you've been muted, and then the next thing you know, you go away, and I'm thinking she better get her technical difficulties worked out. So let's hurry up. Let's hurry up and do this, all right?
I got it together now.
All right. This is the city of Detroit versus. Let me say this. Acacia.
Acacia.
Yes, Acacia.
Acacia.
Yes.
Oh, very well. Is that Capri?
Yes.
Acacia Capri Green. Case number SP 1142668, counts 1 and counts 2, and SP 1142661. Ms. Green, you've been seeing what's been going on all morning, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
And has the court been entirely fair to everybody?
Yes, certainly fair.
And they've offered a lot of goodwill, haven't they?
Yes.
But I'm neglected to say that all the goodwill it cuts off at 11 o'clock, and now it's 11:12. So Ms. Green, you just missed it.
We would have made 11 o'clock and to cut your goodwill by half, Your Honor.
There, your lawyer, Mr. Walling, he's presented a good argument on your behalf. No, Ms. Green, I appreciate your patience, ma'am. I appreciate that you're not driving and you're riding. Now, well, you can drive. You got a valid driver's license, but you're not driving while you're in court. So I appreciate that. Ms. Green, the offer today, you're my son's age. You're 21 years old.
Yes.
Well, you gotta watch your driving, ma'am. The court is not gonna be as gracious next time if we have to see you again as we are today. I have my city attorney and Mr. Walling off the record. He's done a very good job in poking and prodding and just keep on advocating on your behalf. And the city attorney said, listen, I see her driving record. It's only a page and a half, which really it shouldn't be any pages, but things happen and they're not the most egregious things. But you do need to slow down a little bit. And they're willing to offer you blocking traffic, $175 fine, and they'll dismiss both the other tickets. That's a 0-point offense, it's a civil infraction. The insurance company, the Secretary of State, no one will ever know about it. You just pay the fine and you'll be, it will close the matters out. Does that sound like a reasonable offer, ma'am?
Yes.
Are you willing to accept that offer?
Yes, I am.
Who's driving you? Who's chauffeuring you around?
My boyfriend.
All right. What did he tell you? Did he tell you to take that deal?
Of course. But no, I'm taking the deal for myself.
The lawyer was nodding furiously, though.
Huh?
Her lawyer was nodding furiously, though.
Yeah, the lawyer was. The lawyer, but I would think your boyfriend over there like, hey, that's a good deal. Take that deal. My driver's license is messed up and I wish he would offer me that. Does your boyfriend have any matters he's got to clear up in 36th District Court? No, he don't. A good answer, Ms. Green. You're not gonna tell your boyfriend. Okay. Ms. Green, can you raise your right hand for me, please? And the other right. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I can't hear you.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, Ms. Green. Ms. Green, do you understand you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give up that right to a trial?
Yes.
Has anybody else offered you anything other than what I stated in the record?
No.
Okay, Ms. Green, let me draw your attention back to December 5th, 2020 at around 10:47 a.m. in the city of Detroit, in the area of Plymouth and Penrod. Ms. Green, did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on that date, were you pulled over for speeding, Ms. Green?
Yes.
And you were pulled over for speeding because you were in fact speeding, weren't you, Mrs. Green?
Yes.
All right. Very well. You satisfied, Counselor?
Yes.
I'm going to hold you responsible for the amended count of blockading traffic. I'm going to fine you $175 in the matter. I am going to dismiss, based on a stipulation of probable cause, the other matters.
So stipulated.
All right. Ms. Green, when can you pay?
Today.
Today. I like that.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Green, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put July 26th as a control date, just so that we'll have an entry in the computer. If you pay today, we can close this matter out. I think we should have Ms. Green zoom back in once she pays, Madam Clerk, so we can put the close by there.
Okay.
Is that something we should start telling everybody, huh? So they don't have that for the matter. Yeah, you can call or
Well, that's gonna be either okay, right?
yeah, because she's gonna probably have some. I don't think there's any reinstatement fees on these tickets.
Can't be valid a license.
Yeah, there's no reinstatement fees. It's just defaulted for some reason back in 6/2/2021. So it hasn't hit what we call a stage yet. So I'm going to dismiss the other matters, and if there's nothing further, why don't you give the court a call when you make that payment so we can actually put a close in front of that instead of having that matter just being out there like that. Okay, Ms. Green, do you have an ink pen on you? Here, I'm gonna put the number to the court in the chat.
Okay.
All right. Did you get that, ma'am?
Yes, I have it.
All right. So, Ms. Green, please slow down. You probably don't have kids yet. I don't know if you do or not, but you probably know somebody that has kids. You probably have kids yourself. And you heard me, I think you heard me speaking to Mr. Gaskin earlier. It's really no good reason. There's really no good reason to speed. Accidents can happen, by not speeding at all. And it's just accidents, but you increase the chances and the likelihood of something happening and further put people in danger, including yourself. Who is this coming in here at 11:20?
I'm sorry, this is DeMarco Lewis.
So Ms. Green, you know where I'm going with that. And I'm sure your boyfriend next to me can hear as well. So please slow down, Ms. Green.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, Ms. Green, if there's nothing further, you heard me read you the riot act. If there's nothing further, you and your boyfriend have a very good day, okay?
Thank you, you too.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, DeMarco Lewis is not on the docket for today.
Well, what's going on, Mr. Lewis?
I had you gave me 2 tickets to pay the other day, and I had paid them. My Wi-Fi was messing up. That's why I couldn't. I had to come to my mom's house and check in. But you had gave me 2 tickets, and I got the tickets paid. So you told me to bring the tickets in on the 19th.
All right.
Like the receipts that you took.
Why is it? Are you? What's your middle name?
DeMarco Lamont Lewis.
Okay. I was about to say, why is it all of these warrants up? You still, so I think our discussion, and this is not, this doesn't have anything to do with you, Mr. Wallen.
Okay, I'm gonna step out for a second.
I think what we discussed back then was the fact that you make some payments and you well, I see that you made some payments, but you didn't pay them all off.
You told me to only pay the 2 that you gave me the number to. You only gave me the number.
Which one did I give you the numbers to? Read me one of those numbers.
I'm about to tell you right now, sir, because I had put them in my notes. It is, you gave me SP 10897741.
Okay, that's paid.
And the next one you gave me to pay was SP
51. I remember.
Yeah.
51.
Yes.
Yeah, that's paid. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I told you I was gonna help you out. You have some civil infractions up here. What I'm gonna do with these civil infractions, I'm gonna get these civil infractions all the way down to the original cost of the ticket. All right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
And if that requires me to waive, okay. All right. That requires me to waive the reinstatement fees on those, I will do that as well. So, Mr. Lewis has, do we have to put that on the record when I'm taking the stuff off?
I think that'd be best, so that we have to have a record.
Okay, very well. So here's what we're doing, Mr. Wallen, for Mr. Lewis.
Okay.
Mr. Lewis is another gentleman that came before me, and he's willing, he's ready to take a big step, and he was ready to take a big step and start putting some of these matters behind him. I think that Mr. Lewis was, I don't have any doubt that it was a level of immaturity that got him to where he's at now. And obviously, he's overcoming that. And he came in just like Mr. Lockridge today. And we had a discussion last week. Let's put it on the record. Let's call the city of Detroit versus DeMarco Lamont Lewis. Let's call case number 15021-521 and 14. Strike that. Let me start off. Case number 1450252, counts 1 and counts 2. Case number 1544259, counts 1 and counts 2. Case number 095133691. I'll print each one of those out.
Okay.
So that we can get accurate. So the discussion that Mr. Lewis and I had last time, he had a situation where he has a lot of matters, you know, most of them civil infractions that have been involved. We dealt with some cases and disposed of some cases last week. I mean, we disposed of a lot of cases, I think, last week. And he has some civil infractions here. And I told Mr. Lewis that you paid the cases that he fled to, which was a blocking traffic and a, what was that other one? A no-ops ticket. And you show me that you're willing to step up to the plate, honor the side of your agreement, and we'll come back and we'll do something more for you. Obviously, he's done that. He's honored the agreement that he entered into the other day. I think faster than we agreed upon. What day did you say, sir?
Told you that I haven't paid by the next week, and you gave me the next week, but I paid it like two days after the court date.
All right. And I told him to zoom back in, and here he is today. That's what brings him in here. So what I was thinking at the time, was giving Mr. Lewis the opportunity of taking these civil infractions that he has and getting him to the original cost of the ticket had he taken care of them at that time. So for example, we have an expired plate. The cost on that expired plate now is $216 based on the penalties and fees. Had he paid that expired plate, it would have been $145. That's $71. And then he's got that's $71 off of the original amount. $145. For the next one, we have I'm gonna deal with that one last. For the next one, we have a $276 no proof of insurance. Had he paid on time, it would have been $195. That's $81 difference. The next one is a disregarding a red signal. Had he paid on time, that would have been $130. That's another $80. The other one is a no receipt of registration. That's $105. And that's $75 savings. Let me see. There's no loss ticket here. We have $71. It seems like that's the penalty that you incurred, the 20% penalty on that ticket. Let's look at these other two. Those are all the way down. They didn't even charge you a penalty on those. $21. All right, let's print that out.
Oh, because you know what? It's still broken, yes.
Let them know, keep letting them know about it.
Okay.
See if we can get a new. $21. I'm wiping away my new printer that I need. Let's see. $21 in that. So in total, let's go over this. $350.
Okay, that's how much I saved.
That's how much I'm willing to save you for today. $350.
Okay, thank you. So, what's the how much would I have to come? How much would I have to bring down there?
Let's see. Still a little ways away.
Oh.
So, what did I say for this one? 71. a little bit more than 350, I think. All right, so here we go. If I add all this up, and you want to know what it's going to cost for you to get a license. Plus 95 plus 90 plus. I got $1,164.
All right, can I, what's today, the 19th?
You'll be clear at the 36th District Court.
Wait, when I pay 1,100, how much?
1,164 is what I calculated. Sit up, Mr. Lewis.
So,
sit up, Mr. Lewis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I apologize. Can I have it there by like Monday.
All right. Zoom back in Monday then. I'm gonna put July pay by July 26th on all the matters. Why don't you, instead of zooming in, why don't you call in Monday? You have an ink pen?
Yeah, an ink pen. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can put the number in the chat for you if you want me to.
Yes, can you do that?
Yeah.
Where do I go? Oh, yeah, I got it right here. Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So
I'm gonna waive any reinstatement fees. I'm gonna waive the penalties that have been incurred. I'm gonna get all of the matters that I called back to the original amount of the ticket, and I wrote those amounts on the document. So, all right, I'm not gonna waive the reinstatement fees for the matters that just owe reinstatement fees. I'm gonna waive the reinstatement fees for all the matters that are in default that have a larger dollar amount on them. Those other matters, that 1164 though encompass those other ones that just had reinstatement fees. That's all you owe. So that 1164 should be a hard number there, and it should take care of everything still.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Mr. Lewis. That's good business right there. I appreciate you holding to your part of the agreement. I told you that if you did hold to that part of the agreement, then I would do as much as I could for you. And
yes. And I appreciate you really
honor my agreement.
I appreciate you really helped me out a lot, and I really appreciate it, man. So I'm gonna go
What
ahead and take care of that.
Well, I'm gonna take it a step further, and this is not gonna be any order of the court, Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
But what I'm gonna say is this: you've been afforded some goodwill, and I understand that life happens, people get into situations, but there's no reason for these matters to really be sitting out here like this, except for I'm just gonna chalk it up as immaturity.
Yes.
But what I have seen is, well, if these matters are under Kevin Robbins' name, can we still do that?
Oh, yeah, that was He do the alphabet, yeah. I can just change you to judge of record.
Okay, very well. All right, very well. So, see, I got a staff here that knows a lot more than I do, in a lot of regards, and they're helping me out a lot, so I'm able to help you. But what I'm getting at is that past that goodwill that you got today, and the way that you handled this matter and you took care of business, and start moving forward and doing all your matters like that. But pass that goodwill on. Start doing some community service so that we can start making our community better.
Yes, sir.
Are you registered to vote, sir?
No, sir.
Let's make that let's make that part of the order.
Okay, we can do that.
Mr. Lewis, let's say this. How do we do this? And I'm going to start doing this moving forward. Sir, part of this deal, and I'm not going outside of what I said I was going to do. I'm not adding. I said I was going to do something for you.
Yes, sir.
And part of this deal is you going and you showing proof to the court that you registered to vote.
Okay.
And he's able to register to vote as long as he's not incarcerated, right?
Correct.
Even if he's on parole or probation, he's still.
As long as she's not in the facility.
Yeah, this is not like one of the states in Texas where you got my man here that's older than you and I probably put together. He gets out of the penitentiary and he's on parole with the court, and he wants to go vote, and he went and voted. Now they want to try to throw him back in the penitentiary on a 5-year felony for voting a rights act. It's just getting to be ridiculous what some people are trying to do so that our vote doesn't count anymore. You see what I'm saying? The young lady in Texas as well, she did the same thing, and they incarcerated her, didn't they? They put her back in the penitentiary all because she got out. She wants to be civic minded now, and she wants her vote to count, and they put her back in the penitentiary all because she wasn't legally eligible to vote. You know what I mean? So in Michigan, as long as you're not incarcerated in a correctional facility, even if you're on probation or parole, you are eligible to vote as long as you can go register to vote. In Texas, though, you can't register to vote if you're on probation or parole. So based on what they did, they registered to vote and they voted. They're subject to go back to the penitentiary, and the young lady, she is in the penitentiary. So I want to start moving forward, making it a requirement for people to register to vote, and I'm going to make a note of that. And Mr. Goss, you can remind me of that when people come around, because it's really very important. And what I would like to do, if I ever had any real money, I would like to put a movie theater in the city. And right around the times of Black History Month, the PBS, they show these shows. If you sit down and you watch them, you would just be amazed at what we've really been through. I don't know how much of your history that you know, but they really outline it during Black History Month, and you would be amazed to the lengths that people have gone to not let us vote, not let us have the same rights, not let us eat at the same lunch tables, and not do those things. And I think you know, part of our young people's problem is, and I know history, the further it gets away, then it kind of gets lost, but part of the young people's problem is they don't realize the measures that people have taken to stop their vote. And the people that are a little bit older than me that went through that civil rights era, how much they fought just for that right. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. You look up the March on Selma and the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and all those people wanted to do was vote. And they did anything in their power, beat them, just old grandmothers and grandfathers, beat them, killed them, and did everything so they couldn't vote. So I wanted you to do that, and I realized that getting to the Secretary of State, I think you may be able to do that online. I think you don't have to go to the Secretary of State. But by Monday, I'm going to look it up. I want you to look into it. If at all possible, by Monday, I want you to have proof that you registered to vote. And I'll still do what I say I'm going to do, and we'll see you back on Monday. And let's get to that end. Let's get you registered to vote, and let's get you involved in the process. I know that people think that my vote's not going to count. It might not change anything and things like that. But you would be surprised when you get you and all your buddies together and all that stuff. You'll be surprised at what you can achieve in that regard. So that's going to be my order. All right.
Okay. I got, yeah.
All right, Mr. Lewis. I will see you Monday, July 26th. Well, let's start by. Well, yeah, I want you to zoom in because I want you to. I'm gonna start making that a part of my deals moving forward. I want you to zoom in, and I want to keep this dialogue going with you. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Lewis, I appreciate you. Thanks for zooming in. I hope we did save you a great deal of money today.
You did,
and,
you did.
We will get you, still monitor and get you that in and get the driver's license and registered to vote.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be registered. I had approved Monday.
And then if you could, part of that goodwill is to tell all your homeboys that, hey, you get down here with me. You know what I'm saying? And do it with me.
I for sure go tell them.
All right, that's what's up.
All right.
There's nothing further, Ms. Lewis. You're free to leave, sir. Have a great day.
Have a great day too.
All right, thank you. Mr. Walling, you didn't have to sit through all of that, but I appreciate all of the stuff you've done, and I can't. If I had to grade you, you'd be getting an A so far, A++.
I won't ask for that, Your Honor. Just because there's no way of me to politely say, "Hey, can I leave, Judge, before you start speaking quiet?"
You know, I meant to say that. I meant to say that earlier, but I apologize. And you know, you've done a great job. You're free to leave. And what we'll try to do is we'll try to one day. The other day, this is Hatcher. We were here till 1 o'clock the first time she was ever in my courtroom. And then here comes Friday. She's back the next time. And we got out of here at 9:30, before 9:30. It was all done. Maybe hopefully we can get you in that situation one day.
Well, I aim to please. Thanks,
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You bet. Bye now.
One quick question here. What happened to Deontay Goodman?
What did you say about Mr. Goodman?
Oh, that's the guy. Oh, yeah.
Dismiss. That's
Oh,
the guy. That's the guy that couldn't dismiss.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't
Oh, that's
we
right.
have it was another piece of paper.
I know, I was looking for something.
That was dismissed.
And also one more thing, John, I'm sorry. I know you remember the guy that was in the hospital.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna order you to stop saying I'm sorry.
It's a habit.
I know, but I'm
It
aware
is
of that.
such, okay, I was about to say, I'm sorry. I can't help you out. I'll work on it. But, Mr. Glover, the gentleman that was in the hospital,
Dismissed.
and just everything that he had to owe on, just take out all the fees and costs and
Yep.
everything, and just, okay, thank you.
Did we say?
I know you did, and then we said, okay, I can't take it anymore, and
Can't
then
take it no more.
okay, that was it, okay.
Couldn't take it.
Got
I
it.
couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Okay, thank you.
And I was sitting up in the hospital with heart matter to the young man.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
He's very tough, really.
yeah, yeah. He was bad.
Bad shape for a young man,
Huh?
For a
Yeah,
young man,
for a
he's
young
in
man,
bad
too,
shape.
that's something that you,
huh? I don't want to go through. He did all his life, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done. Let's